Greetings, Captains. Gunship here. Hope you're doing well. Today we're having a review, a maiden sail of the new French light cruiser. This is part of the new patch we just had out. So, I thought before I would actually sail the ship, talk a little bit about crewing the ship, because if you just got this ship or you're planning to get it, the first thing you need to do is to crew it. Now, you can of course just sail it as it is, but it is worth at least considering your lineup and how you're going to go about and which slots you're going to use for naval. So I played the French tanks and planes. So I happen to have a plane slot at the start and at the end. I was thinking about only having one, but decided that, for ground forces it's actually quite good to have two plane slots. So if I just click quickly on my tank line up here, you can see that all the middle slots here are all tank slots. So those slots I will use for naval and keep the two plane slots, well, for planes. Going back to the naval, I have put the French ship into the first slot, and as you can see, it only has one crew point. Now you could just play it like that, of course you could, but it will take you some time before you then can expert the crew, and it will take you even more time before you then can ace the crew. So it might be well worth spending a bit of points on that ship to increase the crew. After all, if you bought this ship, you got 2,000 golden eagles at least to help you along the way. So what I want to do is to put 1,000 golden eagles into this crew. So if you look at crew here, and one thing I'll go immediately to is the qualification. And this says, in order to go to an expert crew, we need to have a crew level of 15. So that is worth bearing in mind. So to accelerate the training, I'll need to spend some golden eagles. So I'll go and spend 1,000, and that gives us, 17,000 points to spend. Now, if you want to go all the way up, you need to spend about 3,000, and that will get you to a crew level about 92, I think. But I'll just spend 1,000. So the first thing I normally do is just to go to pretty much every single one without committing anything, and just putting in all the low levels, and I will put 2 in everything there. Only thing is maybe repair rank. It's not that important, it's more how long it gets repaired, if it's, in the hangar and so on. So we can look away for that for now and concentrate and maybe spend a little bit of points on that later on. So first things I will do, ship commander, so leadership is the important one. I'll just try and put that to 5. Observers, it's useful to know the distances, but not the most important bit. We got the boiler room. Now that is somewhat important, especially as things like fire prevention. So I'll put that quite high. Gunners. Absolutely, you want main caliber reload speed high. That is really useful. Damage control. I normally put those quite high too, because that is just useful to have. And I can already see by that bit there that I'm starting to run out of crew points, and that's okay. So I will probably put that down to those 3. And then what I also can see up here, it says plus 49. So we'll be way above that 15 number that we need. And that might be a good starting point. Now we do have a few extra points to use, so I will just have a quick look. So gunnery skills, let's just see if we can add a little bit on the AA on secondaries. That will be useful there. So it's just about evening out, because the more you go out to the right hand side, the more the crew obviously cost, and we will get that. Boiler room, ship control. Yeah, not so important. Important, but not so important. I might just go for just adding the unwatering time, because if you're thinking that is not a good thing. And finally, if you got anything left, okay, we can put a bit in repair speed. There we go. I think I will go with that and apply it. And now the next thing I will do, I will upgrade to expert, so that is done, because that gives you +3 to all these things, and that is super helpful. I won't ace it, because probably playing this ship, being a premium, you will ace it quite quickly now. And remember, you can first gain the ace after you experted the crew, but that is now all set, and we should be good to go. So before we set off on our maiden voyage, it's probably just worth just having a quick look at the ship in the Armour and X-Ray view. So if you look at where it's protected, we got some 20mm down here. This is not terribly much, but it's better than nothing. The turrets are protected a little bit, slightly higher at 30mm, up to the conning tower there. Yeah. And if you look at the X-ray view of this, we can see that those boxes of protection do cover some of the ammunition and shell room. If I click over between the two, you can sort of see it covers that. There's the auxiliary ammunition down here that may or may not be quite protected by the armor. So there's probably a bit of a weak spot on this ship. But to be fair, most ship at the back end has a weak spot, and the reason for that is they can't put the ammunition too high up, because they have to have room for these transmission and the shaft down to the propellers. So that's how most ships are set up anyway. I do quite like the colors they have set up here. That is quite nice. That makes it a lot easier to see what the difference is. That's the radio station and the bridge. Got the fire directors there. I'll just scroll out a little bit. There'll be another fire director up here. And yeah, lots of gunneries. Got a reasonable little deck here of AA. So that's okay. And there's some further AA on the side as well. AA turrets. Some auxiliary. Should be fun. Right. Without further ado, let's battle and see how we get along. Okay, new patch, so we get new bits and pieces to inform us how to play. And because it's a light cruiser, we get the cruiser spawn. And I do have various ammunition here as well. I'll just try all three and see how I fare with that. Hopefully it's just a 4.7 battle, so okay, so we got some Moffats in here. And I don't know what we have out here, but we'll try and dial ourselves in. Now the ship does lean a little bit on a turn, not too bad. Okay, this is how I play the game apparently. Until I just turn it into the patch. I'll aim at about 0.2 in front. You can remove that sort of F1 bit whenever it likes there. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay, my very first hit. Got a bit of smoke from that one. Speed of 61 kilometers an hour, so standard sort of destroyer cruiser speed really. Oh, that did hurt a little bit. After this next shot, I think I might just try and shift over to sap ammunition to see how that goes. Expect to be slightly less effective because I seem to damage that ship quite alright. He's down to 48%. I'm at 94, so I'm happy about that. lost him a little bit, but I did do some hits. Now the time to measure is not particularly quick, but then it's not a modern ship, so it will take a bit of time to do the measuring range, so just have to use the force. Those 7 and 8s are a bit annoying that they keep coming up, but taking a few hits from other ships down here. This is fine. Might just temporarily get a few shots that way. Didn't quite hit. The contact back here has disappeared. Okay, that was a solid hit.
We're ahead of the enemy.
So I normally have set up on watering and repair by default, and then fire protection is something I need to activate. Probably shouldn't keep changing target, but I'm sort of curious what's down here. Okay, that looks like a British destroyer. It's this destroyer, but it looks British with a green camera. Of course, I don't have any torpedoes on this ship. I sort of have the secondaries I can use. I do like the look of this one though.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Very nicely made model. Gaiden did a good job there. Is that generally the right direction? Yeah, could have been a bit closer maybe. I've lost them behind the cliffs there.
Enemy forces have captured
I
a
should
zone.
probably focus on one ship, but it's interesting to see what damage I get against various ships. I mean, there seemed to be a fairly flat trajectory of the shots, which is nice.
Allied forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
My secondaries, I found something.
Thank you.
Okay. Got the fringe. We just start slowly. What do we have here in front? Okay. Get quite close to the shell room. Oh, he's standing still. We'll try and hit him again. Oh, that worked. That's a good one. Ship out here. Camera went a bit weird there. Okay, so they're capturing Charlie. This is good. Probably shouldn't have quite as big a ship in these close waters, but I have to try these things out. Looks like there's something capturing B. We have to look out for that. Oh. Can't be doing too badly, and I think I got 3 spawns in this one as well. So until the French Navy came out, they sort of allow you to spawn 3 times in the same ship, which is very nice. It's always the asking price, but you know, when you want the French Navy, you want the French Navy. The something kicking around B, should be. We got A and C, so that's all good. Ah, he's coming there. He's gonna drop torpedoes at me. I bet he probably will do. Yeah, see, there's torpedoes coming. Oh, he died, but I have torpedoes. Why can't I see them? Oh, there they are. Just in the bow of my ship. Ooh! Oh! Turn! Ah! Good grief, that was close.
Let's keep the pressure on.
Oh, I need to cap B as well. Oh, that's something there. Thought that would have been a kill. What an assist. Okay, let's have a look at the rotation speed of the turrets here. I mean, they're not fantastic, are they? It's not quite American standard here, but yeah, it's a bit more Japanese, I think, than American. It will do. It's a cruiser. It's allowed to take a bit of time. Ooh, I must have been hit by some torpedoes or bombs or something like that. But it is what it is. And we are low on crew. Are we gonna die? Maybe. Ooh. That was a nice hit. Now, I only got 5% crew. That is not a lot. Taking a few with us. The only problem is turning the main turret. That takes a bit of time. Ah, secondaries took care of that. How convenient. 2% crew. I look a little bit low in the water if I have to be. Yeah, that was that. But fear not. We can spawn. Oh, I get a plane spawn, so I had actually selected this plane here because it gets a nice amount of bombs. So that's a good little premium there to potentially invest in, because that will see you proud. But I should. Oh, this could be used for this mission anymore. I thought it could. Ooh, maybe that's a mistake. We'll have to check that out. Right. Maybe I have to put it in more than one slot. Check that out as soon as we get back out to the menu. I don't know if you can do that. Maybe we can. I guess that way you can do multiple crew slots training. This is one thing they said. I just thought it would work a bit like a reserve plane or destroyer, that it would spawn 3 times. I am being shot at. Going behind the cliffs here. Never see me coming. Turn. Release some bombs. Yes. Happy days. I still got 1 bomb left. Need to find another target. Look at that. I like those yellow stripes. Now with ships, it's generally best if you can attack them heads on, because they tend to have most of the AA kicking around at the back. Oh, not needed. Tear of the sea. Maiden voyage complete. And what did we get? 7 naval targets? I mean, there was a Moffat in there, right? So I was not in a down tier. It was in a 5.0 at least. No added bonuses more than... And then you got any RP or XP bonuses things on there. Oh, I've got a backup vehicles. How nice. Okay, so 98,000. That's not bad. That's 100,000 for a battle. That took about a quarter of an hour to play, just under. So it's a good little earner. I don't actually even know what I get. This is just me getting probably the daily or something like that. So, oh, get more prizes. Yes, we'll have that too. And what is that? That's the days. Okay, happy days. But about 100,000 for a quarter of an hour's play. That's okay. 7 kills. Some assists. Yeah, not bad at all. I guess that, I mean, the 7 naval targets, one of them was with a plane, right? So I shot 6 with the ship, but that's doable. So to wrap up, I think it's worth just having a quick look at the ammunition types and a few other things. So first of all, modifications. Obviously, it's a premium, so it comes fully researched. But we look here at the shells. So the first shell is a high explosive shell. And you can see there it gets quite a good TNT equivalent of 6.16 kilo. And that's good for a HC shell. We have a high explosive with base fuse. Not too shabby. Reasonable penetration and 2.9 kilos of explosive match. But the sub round may be my round of choice, certainly against slightly bigger targets. It has a good TNT equivalent of 3.6 kilos and it penetrates a reasonable amount of armor. So that's your armor options. Everything else seems pretty fixed. You know, the 75mm gun, you just have the one, your secondaries. And, you know, that is fine. That will do. Another thing we should just quickly look at while we're here is Remember I talked about an ace crew. If you click on crew here and go to qualifications, if I move my mouse over expert, we can see that I earned in that battle 7,319 RP. So if everything else being equal and I continue having the same battles, and I think that was perhaps better battle than average, but that was maybe beginner's luck, it will take me 100 battles and I will have an ace crew and the ship will be even better performing. So in summary, the ship has good main guns, the traverse is a little bit slow, it has a very good TNT filler both in the HE and SAP rounds, the AA seems great so far, it has an ample speed of 61 kilometers an hour. The lack of armor doesn't seem to be as much of a problem, and that's because of its BR at 4.7. It is expensive, but it does grant you early access and OBT entry into the French Navy, so there's that. Since recording, I've done another 10 battles in this ship, and I have no regrets, even if many of them was up tiers. It seems to hold its own quite well. Hope to see you in the next one.